channel because we talk all sports, everything you guys need. But our main topic today is going to be the college football championship games. But we're just going to start off with a few odds and ends. First off, Grizzlies breaking the record last night for most points. It was 73 points.
73 points. You have to say OKC was impressive.
Oh, yes.
They blow them out.
OKC lost by 73.
You know what's even more amazing? That the Grizzlies won by 73 points
without John Morant.
That's crazy.
I know.
Okay, well that's an interesting tidbit because that's never been done.
Yeah.
Never in the history of the NBA. That's crazy.
At one point, it was a 78-point game, and I was cheering those Grizzlies on. I wanted 80.
Wow.
But
it's hard to maintain when you're up that much. Nobody's really caring. You know, they're just flinging.
Of course.
Okay,
right.
Another interesting tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame named a new coach.
Oh,
Freeman,
yes.
their D coordinator.
Freeman.
He's a very young guy to be a head coach.
Stephen A. was excited about him.
Well, he is a super talent.
He's only 35 too.
He's only 35, but supposedly he's a huge factor in recruiting. He's great with recruiting. The players love him. He's like an inspiring guy. I think it's a great hire. There's going to be people on both sides of this, though, because clearly Notre Dame normally would bring in a big-time name head coach from somewhere. You know, it's one of the premier programs in all college football history. So to go with a 35-year-old that's never been a head coach, it's kind of risky. Now, the other thing
I have a little
on this topic,
somewhat related to this. Brian Kelly giving his speech at the Louisiana State basketball game, women's basketball game, trying to talk in that southern accent. What was he thinking there?
I don't think he's ever been
What
from the
is
South.
this guy doing? He's from New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's from New Jersey.
This move.
This was just so weird.
It's not going to reflect well on him, I don't think.
No.
First of all, I don't think
If you watched any of the sports shows, they were like, what is Brian Kelly doing?
I don't think
This
he's winning
guy.
a national title at LSU.
No, and he
I
also
really
claimed
don't.
that, yeah.
And unless he wins a couple of national titles, people are going to look back. He took a career and a reputation that was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I think he really tarnished it. Now, the other place that I think looks a little questionable in all this, though, is Notre Dame, frankly. Because when you hire one of your assistant coaches and promote them, are they really just cheap?
Correct.
Is the question.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think he's a great hire. I'm excited about it.
I agree. I like the hire, but that is true.
It might be just them being cheap. Okay, and one last thing. I know you don't want to talk about this, but Suns Warriors tonight.
We're about halfway through that game already, yeah. And
we're not halfway through the game. But Suns Warriors, you have to say the pressure now is on the Warriors because they lost that first game. If they lose two, that's going to mean, I don't think it means anything if the Warriors win now. Mm-hmm. But the Warriors lose two in a row to the Suns, that's going to mean something. On top of the fact, this is not fair to the Suns. They played last night. This is a back-to-back. On the road, traveling cross-country.
Yeah.
It's really not... The Suns are at a huge disadvantage. So if the Warriors don't beat them...
That's a problem.
That's a real problem.
Okay,
enough said.
one more little thing.
Oh, another tidbit.
Bulls versus Nets tonight. Who you got?
The Bulls have not been playing well lately.
They just beat the Knicks. 119-115.
Yes, but they lost, I think, who was that they lost to right before that? They had the great run. They've been, not, I wouldn't call it a slump, but they slowed way down. Now, of course, the Nets, who are they right now? Who are they? Are they a one-man team with Kevin Durant with a kind of a semi-in shape. You know,
James Harden.
yeah, I don't know. Harden has been scoring in the last couple of games. But I don't know. They've got to figure out how they're going to play.
Yeah.
However, having said that, I'm picking the Nets.
Okay. After all that talk. After all that talk. Okay.
What? You
I'm
never
going with the Nets too.
Oh, all that talk on your part.
I didn't.
All that lack of talk.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going on to our main subject today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what everyone, this will be the slate of what we talk about. Baylor, Oklahoma State, then next will be Georgia, Bama, then Houston, Cincinnati, Pitt versus Wake Forest.
Who are we
we'll
going
finish
with
it
first?
off with
Oh,
Michigan versus Iowa.
Okay, Baylor, Oklahoma.
All right, Baylor, Oklahoma State. All right, we got 9 versus 5 here. Now, Oklahoma State could very well get into the CFP if they can just ball out this game.
I'd almost bet on it. If they win, they're in.
Mm-hmm.
I'd almost bet on that.
No. I guess if you're saying Alabama's.
We're going to get to that later, but I'm heavily leaning towards Oklahoma State if they get in. You know that this is 2 months ago, but they've already beat Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them by 10. And they didn't really, they're much better now than they were then.
Yeah.
They're playing dramatically better football. So you've got to say, history tells you they're the better team. They're also have got huge momentum off of that Oklahoma victory. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the number 6 running defense in the entire country.
Who? Yeah, Oklahoma State, right? Yeah.
And really, when you look at the players, you kind of look what they've done, the quarterback, the running back, the receivers. They're really pretty similar on both teams. It's the defense that's going to differentiate this whole situation. Oklahoma State, I believe, just has a much better defense. And they play inspired, tough football. So I think the defense is going to win this game for Oklahoma State. I love Rodriguez.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your feel?
I have a few. I'm going to start off with kind of talking both teams. Bohannon.
You love Bohannon.
No, I don't. I'm saying this kid is not.
He doesn't suck. His stats are just the same as Sanders.
But they're just. I know, and I'm saying. You see this, guys, on my notes? I have right here. Bohannon and Sanders are both just stink.
They don't stink.
No, they do.
They're decent college quarterbacks.
Their interception to touchdown ratio is lackluster. They don't pass for a lot of yards. They're just they're held up by a steady run game, and
both teams have good.
And this game is gonna come down to how many points will Baylor score on the great Oklahoma State defense, and how many sacks will Rodriguez have? Because he had 2 last week, or 2 or 3 last week, and and now he's gonna have just.
And it's really not just him. They
have a whole They're great secondary, good line.
Yes.
They got it all.
They
So
lead. They lead
who
in
are
sacks
you
and
taking?
tackles
Are you
for loss.
taking the Cowboys or the Bears?
I'm going all in on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The boys. It's the only boys I believe in anymore.
Okay. Well.
You're going Baylor, aren't you? In an upset.
Honestly.
You like the upset.
I like picking upsets.
You do. You're going Baylor. I can tell it. I see the A. Let it out. Let it out.
I really want to go Baylor. I'm rooting for Baylor. Even though I like Oklahoma State, I'm kind of rooting for Baylor but.
Why?
I don't know. I like their colors.
Okay, pick Baylor and let's move on.
All right, I'm not picking Baylor. I'm picking Oklahoma State.
All that and you're picking Oklahoma State.
All right, topic of the day.
Oh, no. Oh,
Number 1, Georgia versus number 3, Alabama. Touchdown, Alabama. Touchdown,
do you want
Georgia.
to start with this one or do you want to?
I'll start. All right. I got a lot of points on this Alabama team. Okay. First off, I want to start off about talking about that right side of the offensive line. They have been demoed with injuries, and the linebacker.
It's not just the line either.
It's the right side of the line particularly, though, is what I'm talking about right now. That side is going to be, because Georgia really likes to blitz a lot. They love to blitz their linebackers in, and especially on that right side. But what Bryce Young needs to do is he has like a 0.3 arm release. It flicks it out so fast. So he just needs a little time, and he just flicks it. That's the difference between a touchdown and a throwaway. Okay. I mean, and also I would like to talk about Bama. Robinson needs to get going, and he needs to help Bryce Young. Because Bryce Young, I mean, Robinson is just over 1,000 yards, and
he's got a bad leg.
Who, Robinson?
Yes,
yeah, I know.
His status is
No, but
iffy.
they need their running game.
You also know they don't.
No,
usually.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
Also, I think Jameson Williams needs two, deep passing TDs in order for them to have a chance. Because if you remember, this probably would have played a role last week in the Alabama close game with Auburn. He was DQ'd early for a targeting call, and Bryce Young needs the game of his life because that's exactly what it is. This is the biggest game of his life.
The thing I really agree with you on, I think Robinson is a key.
Yeah.
We know he has a problem with one of his legs. If he can't perform at his best, I think there's no hope for Bama.
Because they don't have depth.
No, because they need the running. No, they don't have depth. It's very unlike Alabama. Normally, Alabama, their third string is better than the other team's first string.
Because last year, remember, they had Harris. They also had Robinson last year.
But they just don't have what they normally have there. So if he is not 100% and they don't have a run game, that's too much pressure on Bryce Young. Even Auburn put pressure on him last week. If Auburn is able to put pressure on, what do you think Georgia is going to do? Yeah. Georgia is so much better than Auburn. Their defense is unbelievable. They have not allowed 7 points a game. They're under 7 points a game. It's the best D maybe ever. Now,
No.
Georgia, I'm talking about.
No, I know who you're talking about. Who has Georgia played this season?
Do you want me to list all the names?
No. But I'm saying they have not played particularly hard teams. They haven't played a ranked opponent.
Is that true?
That's true.
Ooh, that's an interesting stat.
I know.
Okay, I still think their D. Did
Kentucky
they not play Auburn? I know Auburn isn't that good.
Yeah, but Auburn's not ranked.
Okay, but they did play Auburn.
Yes.
Did they have as tough a time as Bama?
I believe they played Auburn. No, but I'm just saying they haven't played a ranked opponent.
Yet. I'm just saying that.
Exactly.
But I do think they're in the SEC. They played some good teams.
The only team that's viable, I think, is they played Kentucky, and Kentucky was ranked at the time.
They played Florida, didn't they?
Yeah, but Florida's not
that good.
Sucks.
But Bama had trouble with Florida.
It's true.
So, what of the teams that both of them have played, Georgia just has looked way better than any other team in college football. There's no question about that. Their defense has performed on historically good level. The only thing going in Bama's favor is history. They've beaten Georgia 6 straight times. But streaks don't go on forever. And Georgia just looks like the way better team. And frankly, this is why I think Oklahoma State has a very good chance of getting in the playoffs. Who are you going with here, Boots? You don't like to pick against Bama. I know you don't. And you love the upset.
Okay.
You're racking your brain right now.
I'm thinking.
We're on the air, Boots.
Oh, all right. This is very cool. This is so tough.
If this helps you at all, I'm going big on Georgia.
You're going Georgia big?
Big.
Okay. Oh.
And I really think Bryce Young is going to be running for his life.
Yeah, but he's quick. And he has that.
He's quick, but
it's not like another quarterback with the release. His release is so quick. It's
How did that quick release work against Auburn for 3.5 quarters?
no. I'm just saying it's a different monster in Bryce Young.
How did Bryce Young do it?
This guy's a baller, and now I'm picking Alabama.
Oh my God! If you're right here, I will bow down to you, Boots.
Okay,
I almost
take
never
note of that.
I almost never pick against Bama, but they don't win every year. They don't. And here's the situation where they're not going to win. And if
They might not win every year, but they make the college football playoff every year, and they're making it this year.
if they lose big, they will not select them for that playoff. They have to play a very close game. If they're going to lose, it has to be in a very close game, and something else has to happen to help them.
Yeah, they need Cincinnati to lose.
So,
And speaking of Cincinnati, we're going to go right to that game.
okay.
Houston versus Cincinnati. 21 versus 4.
You know, there's a big spread on this game. It's like a 10-point spread.
Yeah.
If we were simply gambling on the game, I would take Houston in the points. But we're not. We're really just picking the winner. This was the game I think I mentioned a few days ago that I was tempted to go for the upset.
I'm tempted.
But I'm going Cincy because I desperately want Cincy to make the playoff. I want a non-Power 5 team to finally make the playoff. It hasn't happened the whole time. And I think that's terrible. Because there have been good teams
UCF.
that aren't Power 5 and that they just refuse to put them in. The other reason to go... Well, you haven't said your piece on this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Everyone disagrees with me on this, but I think Houston should throw the game.
You can't make your pick. Houston should...
No.
What do you think is going to happen?
Picking. That's not my pick.
Okay.
I'm just saying it helps and makes the conference look good.
I think
That's
you could be
all I'm
arrested
saying.
for that
And
statement.
in the future, Houston, that would help Houston.
You could get arrested for that statement.
is
You're encouraging
Houston
criminal behavior.
Is Houston making the college football playoff
No.
if they win this game? Exactly. That's why they should.
You're
play.
encouraging criminal behavior.
I don't encourage that, but okay.
Who are you going with?
Ryder is a great quarterback, Ryder is a great quarterback, and honestly, the run game is even more brilliant. He's over.
Ford? You like Ford?
I like Ford.
So you're liking Cincy?
No, I like Cincy because Ford has 182.
I thought you were going Houston.
Has 182 attempts for 1,051 yards, something like 1,051, and that's almost 10 yards per carry. But Toon on the other end for Houston has over 3,000 yards also, 3,013 pass yards on the dot, more than Ryder, who's 3,000 on the dot, and he has the same amount of interceptions as Ryder, and just the only thing is one less passing touchdown. So these quarterbacks
They're really efficient.
are basically
They're both
even.
efficient. Yeah, they're efficient
Yeah.
quarterbacks. I think the best thing Houston has going for it is Marcus Jones.
Jones is good.
He gets picks on defense. He's
No,
run
he's
back
good.
four
I know.
run backs, 4 TDs,
this
2
guy's balling.
kickoffs, and 2
No,
punts.
I know.
So they have that going for them. But what I
Good
think...
on special
Oh,
teams.
you haven't said who you were even behind on this.
Okay. I would love to pick the upset, and I really want Houston, but I'm going Cincinnati.
You know, I think a contributing factor to Cincinnati, this game is at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
It's a home game for Cincinnati. Unlike the other conference, playoffs, this is a home game, and I think that matters. They won 26 straight home games.
Yeah.
They don't lose at home. I don't think they'll lose this game either. So much is on the line for them. Unless they choke, I think they're winning this, and I think they're making the playoffs. Finally.
Okay. We got it. All right.
We're left with one more big one,
We're going. We got 2 more games to talk,
but a big one.
but in one more big one. We're going Pittsburgh versus Wake Forest, 15 versus 16 ACC championship.
Not exactly a riveting match that will draw.
No, but I have a lot of stats on this. I have a lot of.
I bet you do. Why don't you go first on this one?
Okay. First of all, I'd like to start off with.
Do you have any bias here?
Pitt? Why would I have bias?
I don't know.
I like Pitt. I like that name, Pitt. Okay, anyways, Pickett is great. He is over 4,000 yards passing, just 7 interceptions, 40 touchdowns, similar numbers to Bryce Young. Both teams hate running the
Of
football.
course, against different quality opponents.
But also, Addison, the receiver for Pitt, has 1,353 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 85 receptions. Now, think about that. That's similar. It's not like on the dot, but it's somewhat similar to the Devontae Smith numbers last year.
You can't compare these
No,
things.
you
They're
can't-
not
you can't.
playing the same quality opponent.
Both teams, though, hate running the football. Hate it. These teams suck at it, and they hate
What
it.
does Vegas say
They
about this game?
stink. All right. Wake Forest, though, has 3,700 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Another great quarterback. Hate running the football once again, but
It's kind of a lot of picks for college.
honestly, great offense on both sides of this one.
It's all offense.
It is all offense. Perry, just over 1,100 yards, and also 13 TDs, receiver for Wake Forest.
Pretty big. You don't seem to know your picks.
I don't. No, all these games are close. This one's 15-16. We had 1 versus 3. We had 5 versus 9. These are close. But, all right, I'm going with putting a stamp on Pitt.
Interesting. I'm a little biased towards Pitt myself,
Why?
just like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a good town. I'm going Pitt too. Now, I think if anybody plays defense, they're going to win the game.
Mhm.
I don't know if either team is going to play defense, though.
Will they consider it? We have a question for both teams. Will you play defense? We'd like to know. A comment in the section below, Wake Forest or Pitt. Okay, now, last game on our show today, we have number 2 Michigan versus number 13 Iowa.
Well,
Ball game.
this is old school. This is very much old school football. Michigan is going to try to run the ball.
It's all about Haskins.
Iowa with the big corn-fed
Yeah.
line is going to try to stop the run. It's going to be 3 yards and a cloud of dust kind of football.
Yeah.
You've got Haskins and Corum.
Haskins is great.
They're both good. Corum's good too.
No, but Haskins is better.
Haskins is their number 1, but they've got a dual threat there.
No, they do. This is a good
Corum
team.
has 900 yards and he missed 2 games.
No, but I think an under his 14-3 touchdown interception ratio is McNamara. I know that's not amazing numbers because he doesn't have all the touchdowns like some other quarterbacks, but he's a field general. He doesn't make like the huge errors. He only has 3 picks the whole year. I mean, he just doesn't make that many errors. But they also have Hutchinson and Njoku.
Hutchinson is maybe
No, but
the best NFL prospect in college football right now.
Hutchinson and Njoku, because he's underrated.
Who's
Njoku
underrated?
is underrated because of
Well,
how good Hutchinson is.
yeah,
Hutchinson is crazy.
like I said, he could be the best NFL prospect in college football
Iowa
right
stinks at passing, though. I mean, their quarterback has a 9-6.
Who are you talking about, Padilla? Padilla was out.
Padilla stinks.
Well, he came back and he turned that game around, that last game, and that's why they won.
No one cares about Padilla, okay?
Well, Padilla's mother does.
Padilla stinks.
He doesn't stink. You're too hard on these guys.
This guy's running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
If you're a starting quarterback,
He's a
in a
chicken
division-
running around blocking people that don't even exist.
you're very much
He's a-
too hard on these
He's a
guys.
chicken with his head cut off.
They play demanding schedules. If they're the starter, they're an outstanding athlete.
He stinks. All right, who
A little
are you
harsh.
picking?
I'm going Michigan.
I'm going Michigan too.
So are all of our picks the same? Oh no,
I
you went
picked
Bama.
Alabama.
You went Bama. So chances are I've won this week.
Chances are I won this week.
No, chances are.
According to my standards, chances are I win this week. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you for watching Sports Right Now. We're saying so long from our studios. Goodbye from Sports Right Now.